Welcome to First Grade Nutrition Lesson 5. This lesson will be on combination foods. Let's do a quick review. First of all, do you remember how many food groups there are? If you said 5, you are correct. Now, let's see if you can name them. What do you think this food group is? If you said fruits, that's correct. What about this one? This is vegetables. How about this one? This one is grains. What about this one? Protein. And finally, what about this one? Dairy. Let's talk quickly about fruits and vegetables. Fruits are items like pears, grapes, oranges, apples, and bananas, and vegetables are foods like broccoli and peppers, tomatoes, and kale. Fruits and vegetables provide our body with vitamins, minerals, and fiber that our body needs. We should try to eat at least 5 servings of vegetables and fruits a day. Do you remember what fraction of your plate should be fruits and vegetables? Half of your plate should be fruits and vegetables. And when you think about half, you should really be thinking about grains too. We want to make half of the grains we eat whole grains. Remember, foods that go in the grain group are things like breads, pretzels, cereals, rices, and pastas. We can find out if something is a whole grain by looking for this logo on the packaging. Also, you can look at the nutrition facts label and find the ingredients to look for the first word being whole. That will help you identify foods that contain whole grains. And we can't leave out dairy and protein. Foods that belong in the dairy group are things like milk, yogurt, cheese, soy alternatives. And things that go in the protein group are things like meat, fish, beans, eggs, and nuts. Remember, dairy products help to build strong bones and strong teeth, and protein foods help build and repair body cells and muscles. Now that we've reminded ourselves what foods belong in what food groups and what each food group does for you, let's take a look at something called combination foods. Combination foods are foods that have multiple food groups in the same dish. For instance, this cheeseburger. It has a bunch of different food groups in it. Let's see if we can identify them. Take a look at the bun. If you'll notice, this bun is in the grain group. We have lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, onions. That will take care of our vegetable group. Here we have bacon and we have hamburger, both belonging to the protein group. And then finally, we have cheese, which belongs in our dairy group. So this food contains 4 of the 5 food groups. It's time for an active game. I'm going to show you a combination food. Each food group will be assigned an exercise. We will do 5 of each exercise that can be found in the combination food. I wonder if any will have all 5 food groups. Here is our first combination food, a ham and cheese sandwich. Let's take a look at this sandwich. Do you think this sandwich has grain? It does have grain. Do you know what the grain is? The grain is bread. So, let's stand up and do 5 toe touches for grain. Ready? Go. Now let's look at the sandwich again. Does it contain dairy? It does have dairy. What is the dairy? The dairy product in this is cheese. So we are going to do 5 cross crawls. Ready? Go. Looking at this sandwich, does it contain vegetables? It does not. We could add vegetables, but in this picture, there are no vegetables, so we do not get to do jumping jacks. Is there any fruit in this combination food? I don't see any fruit, so we don't get to do squats this time either. How about a protein? Is there a protein in this combination food? There is. What is the protein food? If you said ham, you are correct. So let's do 5 arm circles to represent protein. Ready? Go. Here is our next combination food. It's chicken noodle soup. Take a close look at this dish. Let's first see if you think it has grains in it. There are some grains. Do you know what they are? If you said the noodles, you are correct. Let's go ahead and stand up and do 5 toe touches for the grains. Ready? Go. Stay standing. Is there dairy in this dish? There is not dairy in this dish. What about vegetables? Any vegetables in this dish? There are. Hopefully you can see the carrots and the celery that are in this dish. So, since there's vegetables, let's do 5 jumping jacks. Ready? Go. Okay, how about fruit? Are there any fruits in this dish? There are not. But what about protein, our last choice? Well, it says it in the name. Chicken is our protein for chicken noodle soup. So let's do 5 arm circles. Ready? Go. Here is our next combination food, a black bean burrito. Let's take a look closely and see what food groups go in this dish. Do you see grains in this dish? There are grains. In fact, there's 2 different grains. Can you name them? If you said rice, that is correct. And this also has a tortilla shell. Those are both grains. So let's stand up and do 5 toe touches. Ready? Go. Okay, what about the dairy group? Do you see anything in here that belongs in the dairy group? If you said cheese, you're correct. Let's stand up and do 5 cross crawls. Ready? Go. What about vegetables? Any vegetables in this dish? I see tomatoes, and tomatoes are a vegetable on the My Plate. So let's stand up and do 5 jumping jacks. Ready? Go. Do you recognize any fruit in this picture? I don't see any fruit. And what about protein? Do you see any protein in this picture? Actually, there is. If you said black beans are the protein, that's 100% correct. That's a very tricky one. Let's go ahead and end with 5 arm circles. Our next dish is spaghetti and meat sauce. Let's look at this combination food and see what food groups we can find. Do you see any grains to start with? I do. I see noodles or pasta. So let's stand up and do 5 toe touches for the grains group. Ready? Go. Let's look at the picture and see if we see any dairy. As much as I like to put cheese on top of my spaghetti, There is no dairy in this picture, so we're going to skip over crisscross and move on to vegetables. Do you see any vegetables in this dish? Well, I see tomatoes, and there's probably some onions in there as well. So let's stand up and do 5 jumping jacks. Ready? Go. Okay, what about fruit? I'm not seeing any fruit in this dish, but I can tell you that I do see some protein. Can you name the protein that's in this dish? If you said meat, you are correct. And this could be hamburger or turkey burger or chicken burger. Let's go ahead and do 5 arm circles for the protein. Ready? Go. This is our last one, a pineapple and ham pizza. Let's take a close look at this pizza. Let's see what food groups we think are in this dish. First of all, let's check to see if there are any grains. Do you see any grains in this picture? The crust is made from grains, so we do have grains in this pizza. Let's stand up and do 5 toe touches for the grains group. Ready? Go. Next, let's check to see if there's dairy in this picture. What do you see that might be in the dairy group? If you said cheese, that's correct. So cheese is in this product, and that is a dairy. So let's stand up and do 5 crisscross. Ready? Go. Our next food group is vegetables. Do you see vegetables in this dish? This is a bit tricky. Technically, the tomato sauce can count as a vegetable, so we're going to go ahead and give credit to this for having a vegetable. So let's stand up and do 5 jumping jacks. Ready? Go. Okay, let's look for some fruit. Do we see fruit in this dish? If you said pineapple, you are correct. This has fruit in it. So let's do squats. Ready? Go. Finally, let's check this dish for protein. Do you see any protein in this dish? Our protein for this dish is ham. So let's do 5 arm circles to finish up. Ready? Go. Great job. We don't want to eat a ton of pizza, but having 1 slice of this pineapple and ham pizza gets you all 5 food groups. What a cool combination food. Okay, it's time to get up and reach for the sky with our 5 food group song. Are you ready?
Here's a little song about the 5 food groups: fruits, veggies, protein foods, grains, and dairy.
The 5 food groups are what we need: fruits, veggies, protein foods, grains, dairy. The 5 food groups are as cool as can be. So eat 5 food groups and sing with me. Give a hoot if you like fruit. Stomp your feet and eat veggies. Sing my tune for protein foods. Fly like a plane with some grains.
And now it's dairy, and you got all 5. So come on, everybody, and reach for the sky.
The 5 food groups are what we need: fruits, veggies, protein foods, grains, dairy. The 5 food groups are as cool as can be. So eat 5 food groups and sing with me.
An apple is a fruit. Broccoli is a vegetable. Chicken is a protein food. Bread is a grain. And yogurt is dairy.
That makes 5. Give a hoot if you like fruit. we need. Fruits, veggies, protein foods, grains, dairy. The 5 food groups are as cool as can be.
So thank you everybody for singing with me.
Today's lesson was all about combination foods. It's important to know what food groups you're eating from to make sure that you are getting all of the vitamins, minerals, and fiber you need. At your next meal, look for combination foods and see if you can name which food groups are in your meal. Thank you for participating in our first grade nutrition lesson series. This is the last lesson of our series. See you in second grade.